What the fuck?
What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me? Everybody can hear?
Yeah, change your picture though, bro.
I ain't worried about the picture, bro. We already a little late, so we just gonna, we twins right now, bro.
All right, bro.
Sutek, can you hear everything?
Yep, loud and clear.
Vic, can you hear?
Can you hear me? You hear me?
I got you, bro. I got you. I just want to make sure everybody. I want to apologize to all the viewers who out there who's watching. We tried it, and because we're amateurs. You know what I'm saying?
Don't try to say I messed it up. I ain't know.
Man, right. I wasn't even gonna put it on you by yourself, bro.
Way to try. Way to try. Can they comment on YouTube? Can they comment on YouTube? It's still disabled, bro.
Say what?
It's still disabled. That's what I'm saying. I said it's
YouTube still disabled.
Yep.
I
think it's Facebook, bro. I think it's kicking. I think it's kicking our comments off somehow.
Facebook and YouTube shouldn't be intertwined like that, man.
I agree.
Did anybody do something in the settings, bro?
Bro's in there now.
Is the kids mode on? Usually that's what happens when kids on, man. See, that's what it is, bro. It's made. You changed the settings to made for kids.
I didn't though.
Somebody did, bro. That's why it's damn.
Well, we'll figure it out. We just gonna have to figure it out. We're just gonna have to figure it out. I think Brian is doing it now. I'm about to check with you.
But you ain't nobody to do it unless you get off of the you're gonna have to come off, man. Hold on, let me see. No, it's not. No, it's not made for kids. Say okay. The comment should be up. Comment should be up. See if you can put a comment, bro. There we go. Okay, that's
yeah, we good to go now.
You can put the comments up in YouTube land.
Yep.
Okay, then that was hey, I appreciate it, man. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know we we on the up and come up, you know what I'm saying? We the bootleg version of the debate league, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there we go. For the people that's in the audience, I apologize for us being late. We had some communication difficulties, but as promised, we will have these two guys get on here, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see about some brain power today. You know, everybody be always talking about the black brain, and you know what I'm saying? We finna have some brain power going on right now. TK, if you'll go ahead and take over.
All right. Just to get it set off, I want to let y'all introduce yourselves to the people again. If you want to start, let's just go with Sutek tonight. Sutek, if you wanted to start introducing yourself, let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, man. Peace to my brothers on the panel, man. It's Sutek, representing Kofi Pasi research team. Just here to deal with the fact of, or the question of if astrology is scientific or pseudoscientific. and has astrology and astronomy always been linked together. So, yeah, man, I'm ready to get it.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. Folks, Victor has failed to say what he got to say. Sue
Yeah.
Tech trying to be all nice and
Yeah.
this is to show that that brother is teaching pseudo, and you here to show him that it's a better way, and if you convert him and basically baptize him in the ways of right, that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Mr. Felder. If you'll go ahead and introduce yourself, please, and we'll go.
Hey, what's going on? Vic, what they call me, researching, reading books, just be surfing the net. Also, I got a lot of books that I read, do a lot of studying in different areas. Initially, I thought it was going to be astronomy and astrology as one with man, but I heard wrong. But I can still deal with the subject matter of astrology and man, or astrology aligning with the body, and you can predict things and yada yada and so on and so on. So, hey, who got the best information, man? Let's do it.
I want to say peace to everybody who's watching. Let me send a shout out to, you know, my team, the LOS League of Shadow team, all the Facebook subscribers, all the YouTube. I want to send a shout out to the Kofi Posse research team, because I know a lot of people that follow them is over here to see Vic basically smash Sue Tech with his information and prove that, you know what I'm saying, the Kofi Posse research team, you know, need to tighten up on their information. That being said, man, let's go. Who got the stage first? TK, you got the timer.
Yeah,
tell everybody the rules so everybody that's watching, they can know exactly how we're doing this, and they can know, you know, what's going on, bro.
All right, so it's going to be 2 formal rounds where there will be 15 minutes apiece. We changed it from 10 minutes last night so that we can give everybody enough time. All right, and then the third round is going to be more of a rebuttal round where everybody get 5 minutes apiece, maybe 10, depending on how everything goes. When you're mentioning your source, please mention the page number that you're getting that from. If it's an article, please cite it. All right, the crowd's going to judge. All right, and we could flip for who wants to go first. In the background, Sue Tech was, you know, being a gentleman. So it's up to you, Vic. Do you want to go first? Or you want to flip?
No, we can flip, man. He brought it to me, so you know I'm just defending what he's saying ain't real. So you know I'm on trial, so I got to defend myself. I got to defend the topic, right?
Yeah. All right. So Sue Tech, are you cool with that, or how do you want to handle it? Do y'all just want to just flip?
Yeah, flip. Go ahead, flip.
All right. Let me grab a corner.
I can't believe y'all gonna trust that brother to flip a coin. Man, what type of, man, y'all black people just too trusting. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Hey, also too, man, I'm gonna try to put up as many of these comments. Only thing, people in the audience, while they're presenting their information, I won't be posting the comments up out of respect for the brothers, to make sure that they give their information and not be distracted. And you know what I'm saying? So for all the listening audience, please, we will post comments. You know what I'm saying? Man,
Yeah.
I'm not country, bro.
Back up. I'm gonna put the sources back up too.
I'm not country, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just got, you know, that southern swag, bro. That's what it's called, southern swag. It's not country. You know, I guess you're talking about my southern dialect, brother. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to hear somebody country, y'all need to listen to Kofi. Kofi, from the, oh my God, now that's Mississippi. That's country right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, please, y'all hit the like button, please. I appreciate it. If y'all hit the like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, please like, share.
What's up? Did you flip the coin yet, bro? What type of coin you got?
Who's gonna call it in the air?
just get heads or tails. Which one of y'all want heads? Which one of y'all want tails? And let's ride, bro.
Yeah, I need heads.
All right.
just like a jigger. It's just like, man, y'all black men, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
tails. It was tails.
It was tails.
Yeah.
What's up, Vic? You ready?
Yeah, he called heads with tails. It's on him, right?
Oh, okay then. No, I thought if he called head,
He called heads. If it was heads, it would be him.
yeah. If it was heads, y'all go ahead, man. I don't do
Now,
it.
did you want to set up anything or say anything before I start the timer?
Hold on. So y'all just confused me right now.
No. He it's on Felder to go first.
Oh, okay.
So he called heads, but it was tails, and he won the toss.
You won the toss.
Oh, so it's on him. That's what I'm saying. He can go first.
All right. Sutek, you cool with going first? He's making his choice.
That's what the flip was about, right?
No. Listen. Let's just do it this way. Sutek, please just go first. We can get started. We already was like 50 minutes late. I do apologize. That was all on me. But at this particular point in time, we should just get it in. We grown. We're going to get it popping. Y'all can discuss the information no matter what. Y'all feel like y'all going to win. So, fuck it. Let's rock.
All right. So hold on. Let me get my stuff set up.
All right, just let me know when you set up and ready to go, and that's when I'll hit the timer.
All right.
And Vic, I'll do the same for you too. You just let me know when you're ready.
Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, everybody see that? Is the screen share? I hear y'all giggling, so it must be shared.
No, I'm actually laughing at Sean, man. Talking about, before you start, Sean, peace to everyone in the chat who haven't dissed me in the past 24 hours. That was up. I don't have no love for light-skinned dudes, so I dissed him and Ibilio. So go ahead, though, man. Go ahead, bro.
All right, so you ready?
Yeah, you can start the time.
All right, it's on.
All right, the name of the presentation is Don't Throw Stones If You Live in a Pseudoscientific House. Is astrology science or pseudoscience? Was astrology originally linked with astronomy? Come on, let's get it. All right, I'm going to start with science. The scientific method is an empirical method of acquiring knowledge that has characterized the development of science since at least the 17th century. It involves careful observation. It involves a research topic. It involves a hypothesis. Then you test with experiments. You analyze the data, and then you report your conclusions, right? And my sources are going to be at the bottom. Maybe you see. All right, so he had a problem with me using white people, even though it looks like he's using white people. But this is a black astrophysicist that just killed the argument before my round is even started. So I'm going to play a minute or so of this. Hold on, can y'all hear that?
Nah, we can't.
All right, hold on. Let me stop sharing and do it like this. I know what I did wrong. All right.
Personalities influenced by things that are cosmic. Control tests you do, it just fails. So why do people still believe it? I'll tell you why. Because if you, when you go to your horoscope in the day and you say, oh, what are your Scorpio? You go straight to the Scorpio and it's written, oh, that's okay. That's going to happen to me. You should try it differently. Do the following. Get someone else to pick one of those horoscopes at random and read it to you. Best do it in an entire room. I've done this experiment.
Yeah.
I picked one at random, read it to a room of 100 people, and I'd say, did I just read your horoscope? 70% of the hands went up. Well, no, of course, it's not 70% of them. So you realize that they're written in such a way that you can find the meaning that you need for yourself because of the way each one of those horoscopes are written. And you lift up the things that are most applying to you, and you suppress in your mind the things that don't apply, and you walk away thinking that they're speaking to you because of what time of year you were born. And we've known about this. It's a psychological effect where we remember the hits and forget the misses. Like you pick up the phone and say, I knew it was you, Grandma. And well, how about all the times that you thought it was her and it wasn't? Those don't get remembered as an incident in your life. They get rapidly forgotten.
All right, so he's talking about astrology and how it has no accuracy or no basis in science. Let's keep going. Science versus pseudoscience. We got science on the left, we got pseudoscience on the right. Science uses careful observation and experimentation to confirm or reject a hypothesis. Evidence against theories and laws are searched for and studied closely. Science is based on well-established repeating patterns and regularities in nature. It is reproducible. The experimentations are reproducible. Personal stories and testimonials are not accepted as evidence. It is consistent and interconnected. One part cannot be changed without affecting the whole. Pseudoscience starts with the hypothesis and looks only for evidence to support it. Little to no experimentation. It focuses without skepticism on alleged exceptions, errors, anomalies, and strange events. The results can not be reproduced or verified. Personal stories and testimonials are relied upon for evidence. It is inconsistent and not interconnected. If any part is changed, the greater part of the concept can stay the same. That is pseudoscience. Let's keep going. Let's give a couple more examples. Excuse me. Science argues from scientific knowledge and from the results of experiments. It uses vocabulary that is well defined and in wide usage by co-workers. It convinces by appeal to evidence, by arguments based on logical or mathematical reasoning. Science comes with peer review, and it progresses as time goes on. More is learned, things change. Pseudoscience argues from ignorance. It uses specially invented terms that are vague and apply only to one specific area. It attempts to persuade by appeal to emotions, faith, sentiment, or distrust of established fact. Remember that. There's no peer review literature. There's no progress. Nothing new is learned as time passes because it stays the same. Remember that. We can skip over that. What is astrology? Astrology is a type of divination involves forecasting of earthly and human events through the observation of interpretation of fixed stars, the sun, the moon, and the planets. Devotees believe an understanding of influence of the planet and stars on earthly affairs allows them to both predict and affect destinies of individuals, groups, or nations. Astrology is a pseudoscience that claims that divine information about human affairs and terrestrial events by studying the movements and relative positions of celestial objects. It is different from astronomy. Contemporary Western astrology is often associated with systems of horoscope that purport to explain aspects of a person's personality, depict significant events in their life based on position of celestial objects. Let's go. The history of astrology. Let's get into a little bit of history. Astrology can be traced back to the Babylonians more than 4,000 years ago. Remember that. I'm telling y'all to remember all this stuff. But you need to remember it. It's going to make sense. 4,000 years ago, although the Babylonians developed many astrological concepts at the time of Alexander the Greek, geographer, mathematician, and astronomer Ptolemy was responsible for creating the system familiar today. 4,000 years ago. Remember that. Ptolemy viewed the universe as enormous spheres within spheres, an erroneous notion that persisted for centuries In Europe, astrology grew in popularity during the Renaissance because of interest in science and astronomy. In the 16th and 17th centuries, Christian theologians and popes condemned astrology as challenging the free will and the prevailing views of an all-powerful God. All right, when you look into the sky at night, all the visible stars arranged into 88 recognized constellations. Some, of course, are hidden on the other side of the earth. Imagine these are a huge glass bubble. These are on a huge glass bubble that surrounds the earth. Now think of a window or belt arching overhead from horizon to horizon. Some constellations reside in this window while others were outside of the window. The window is relatively narrow at 16 degrees. Its precise placement, is called the ecliptic, the limited band of sky where eclipses occur. This horizon to horizon window is called the zodiac. It's divided into 12 window panes called houses or signs, each defined by one of 12 out of 88 possible constellations of stars it contains. Constellations are named for animals and people they seem to resemble. In fact, the word zodiac means circle of animals and is based on the same root word as zoo. Both zodiac and zoos are filled with animals. Your sun or your natal sign, which is your birth sign, or natal astrology, is the house or window pane that the sun is in at the moment of your birth. If the sun is near the constellation of Sagittarius when you're born, then you will be considered a Sagittarius. The rising sign, which is the ascendant sign, is the zodiac on the eastern horizon at the moment you are born. So if the constellation of stars that define Sagittarius appears on the eastern horizon, your rising sign is Sagittarius. Plain and simple, right? And that is imagery of what I just explained. All right, each sign and its sun sign date is associated with a different set of attributes, some of which are described below. You got Aries, free, assertive, impulsive. You got Taurus, they're resourceful, they're patient, affectionate, stubborn, so on and so forth. Y'all can read that for yourself. These attributes were not obtained through any type of scientific observation. They were not. No scientific observation, but simply reflect the shapes ancient people thought they saw in various patterns of stars and popular association to these shapes. So the house of Sagittarius is defined by a set of stars thought to look like a centaur. A centaur is a half human, half horse creature wielding a bow and arrow. The centaur was an untamed beast characterized by free, careless, and optimistic. Right? If you were born under Sagittarius, you might also possess these attributes. Now, was astrology in Egypt? I had the foresight to know that maybe he would mention this, because a lot of people do. The Dendera Temple is a temple in Upper Egypt, at a rather isolated place at the edge of the desert, about 2.5 kilometers or 1.6 miles southwest of the modern town, lies what Dendera is famous for, a mostly Greco-Roman temple. Greco-Roman temple complex known in ancient Egypt as Ayunet or Tanteret. The official deity of the city was a crocodile. All right, crocodiles were venerated in Kemet, which caused quarrels, notably in Umbos. It was Champollion, the famous for deciphering the Egyptian hieroglyphs, who found one of the cartouches of the zodiac, the Greek word autocrator, written in hieroglyphs, thus leading him to conclude that the artifact was made during the Greco-Roman period. So when you see that astrological scene in the Temple of Dendera in Kemet, just know it was Greece. It wasn't the Rimesh. Let's keep going. Get that shit out of here, man. The most effective test, we doing scientific testing now. The most effective test of astrology was done by Sean Carlson. Now, Sean Carlson is an American physicist with a bachelor's degree in applied science and physics in 1981 from UC Berkeley, and he got a master's degree in physics in 1983 and a PhD in nuclear physics in 1989, both from UCLA. In this test, 28 astrologers were used. They matched over 100 natal charts to psychological profiles done by generated by the California Psychological Inventory, or CPI. They did double blind tests. Now, what blind tests are? Blind tests are tests or experiments that withhold information which may influence the participants of the experiment until after the experiment is complete. So if I do an experiment and withhold some information from you, that is called a blind test. Now, a double blind test is when two of the parties are left in the dark about some form of information. Testing protocol was agreed to by astrologers who nominated the National Council for Geocosmic Research. These astrologers nominated this council to speak on their behalf as advisors, but these astrologers also agreed with the physicists. So everybody came to a consensus, right, about this test and how it was set up. Out of 28 of the astrologers, 26 was chosen by their own people, the NCGR, right? The National Council for Geocosmic Research. And the other 2 was volunteers that just wanted to do it. The results of the study found that astrology, was no more accurate than chance. So it's a chance that you may get it. It's a chance that it's a chance it may be accurate. It's a chance that it may not be. That's not scientific, bro. It was clearly falsified. No. In the 1971 experiment by Bernie L. Silverman, in my time up, I hear a mic open.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. In the 1971 experiment by Bernie L. Silverman, subjects were presented with 12 personality sketches from a set of horoscopes and asked to choose from the 4 that best described them. So these people were presented with 12 personality traits, and they were supposed to choose which one describes them. When the descriptions were identified by astrological signs, subjects were not particularly likely to pick the horoscope of their own sign. This is called the blind test. So when these astrological signs were not identified, when it was just characteristic traits, these people did not pick the traits that coincide with their sign.
Time out.
Okay.
And just for the listening audience, for everybody to know, both people will get how many? 10 minutes, TK, to present?
15
minutes. Both people will have 15 minutes to present their presentation. That's why y'all heard the timer go off. But we're going to give Brother Felder 30 minutes.
He's wild. He's not getting 30 minutes. But Felder, was there anything that you wanted to set up or say before we move into your presentation?
No, did you have the ones that I sent as far as the definition?
I can pull them up, yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones I want to start with, the so the different definitions, get an introduction into it. And after we deal with the definitions, I'm gonna go into a couple of books, and we're gonna deal with astrology not only from a zodiacal point, because it seems as though it's a misunderstanding of what astrology is limited to. When we're dealing with astrology, it doesn't just deal with the zodiac sign; it deals with also the seasons. And when you're planning, or how you go about planting your crop and eating and so on and so on. But I'll get into that in a minute, because
Don't start presenting. Don't start talking shit yet. Hold up. Let me get your definitions right. I just want to make sure I pull up the right ones for you.
Yeah, we're gonna start with astrology, astronomy. Then we're gonna put that one up where it was separated, and we're gonna go from there.
Now, hold on, man.
Brother Felder, I'm telling you, brother, you're gonna have to. Well, I'm sorry, Vic. I'm sorry, brother Vic. I know you're Felder, but Vic, when you come, man, you got to come with them counters, bro. You got to come with some counters. I'm not like he came out swinging like that. That Negro tried to go Super Saiyan, man, before the fight even started. Like he didn't even, you know what I'm saying? So, brother, when you come in, don't hesitate. You study this move, you study this style, man. Man, that sucker whole style is chump, bro. Man, go in on him, man. He tried
Felder.
He tried to go
ahead.
Big tried to go Super Saiyan, man. And I don't care who say I'm pseudo, but God damn, man, he tried to go in, Vic. So what he tried to do, man, he tried to crush you before you even start. So what I need you to do is you got them gloves on, man. I need you to go on, show them, you know what I'm saying, that magic, bro. I'm finna get off this microphone and let you go ahead with your presentation. But damn.
Hold on, keep talking shit, Felder, before we move forward. Do you got the link on your computer right now? To the
Nah, man, I don't own no laptop, man. I just do books and hit a little link here and there at the last minute, but I'm mostly a book, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was asking yesterday when I asked Sutek, was it okay if I sent you the what you call them so you can put it up? I ain't no computer man like that.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to get to. So should I start where it says astrologer?
Nuh-uh, do astrology. Definition of astrology, astronomy. Then we're gonna go when the two are split. When they split astronomy and astrology from each other.
Okay. Hold on. So wait.
That should be in the beginning. Like if you look in there, I sent you those.
Okay. No, I missed those. Those is at the top. I apologize. All right. So let me make sure I share my screen.
But you know, now just for the people, man, look, I'm not making no excuses. The brother did say last night in the weigh-in, Sutek also knew this, that he didn't operate from the the computer. So he did. Sutek already knew this information from the weigh-in. So I don't want nobody saying that we just trying to help him and all this. The brother had already said it. So you know what I'm saying, we're gonna let him do how he gonna do it. Y'all can ask.
Yeah, I agreed. I had absolutely no problem with that. And y'all take whatever time y'all need to be able to set up. And I want this to be fair.
Yeah, so I just want the public to know that, you know what I'm saying, that they had already discussed this in the weigh-in. But you know what I'm saying, I'm sure, the brother Felder, brother Vic gonna come back because Sutek tried to come. Man, I almost passed you that pistol just then, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know you finna come in and you finna go ahead and give him some of these counters, and I'm gonna get off the mic.
All right.
Yeah, man, he gave some good information, man. That don't mean it was accurate. But hey, let's go. Let's start with astrology, the definition of astrology. The study of the movements and relative positions of celestial bodies interpreted as having an influence on human affairs and the natural world. Go to astronomy. The branch of science which deals with celestial object space and the physical universe as a whole. I think the next one should be celestial. Position in or relating to the sky or outer space as observed in astronomy. At the bottom, you will see a celestial body. So we're connecting the two, and that was the deal with astronomy and astrology, to say that it's a pseudoscience or it wasn't science or it's not scientific. So if it's not scientific, why are the words similar? And if we are considered the microcosm of the macrocosm, and we are one with the universe, how is it not science? How can we not compare the two? How can it not be used? So let's take it back to where, or as far as I can take my studies back to try and compare the two, to see where do we go with it. Oh no, show the next one, the 17th century when it was split. My bad, because we have in astrology and astronomy were archaically treated together and were gradually separated in Western 17th century philosophy, the age of reason, with the rejection of astrology. So the two were used as one. Then we come up to a certain point in time when some men from the West felt like it had to be separated. Maybe it was some things they didn't understand, or maybe it was something that they didn't want the people, to grasp the hold of. But we got to understand, when we're talking about astrology and astronomy, and we're trying to separate the two, still have to understand or have some type of understanding of history to where when the two were separated from one. Now, what was my next one? Dealing with the zodiac. We'll go here since the brother wanted to start with the zodiac. Zodiac is determined by which constellation the sun was in the day you were born. Constellation is a group of stars forming a recognizable pattern that is traditionally named. That one's not in there. Don't show them too much, man. We're gonna hold up in that. That is traditionally named after its apparent form or identified with the mythological figure. So that's what he was talking about when they had the half man and half animal. And these were different ways of how they were able to tell what cycle the sun was in. And this is how they were able to attach that mythological being with your zodiac, with you being born in that point in time within that constellation as the sun went through that era. I'm in the book Now Valley Contribution to Civilization by our brother Anthony T. Browder. We have to go back and understand the calendar first, because people are giving credit to Greco-Roman or Ptolemy or these different Greeks that came, and they're telling you Babylon. Those are the main two you're going to hear, Babylon and the Ptolemaic era. But he said 4,000 years into Babylon. But according to the brother Anthony Browder, a more precise sidereal calendar was introduced around 4236 BCE. The new calendar alleviated the necessity of adding one day every 4 years by adding a new year every 1460 years. So now we're dealing with the calendar, and we're dealing with who did it or who started it or how did we go by the calendar. When we talk about lining up the zodiacs within the calendar, he also gave credit to the Greco-Romans. So he tried to jump the gun and go to the calendar of Dendora, which I'll get to that in a moment, because that is not connected to Greco-Rome either. With the zodiacs in the book Christianity Before Christ, author John G. Jackson. And he's breaking down how the zodiacs were first named in the Nile, or first named in Egypt. And I'm going to read you some of that from it. It says, the zodiac with which we are familiar today originated with the Greeks, but there were earlier zodiacs with different symbols. Going back to the remote antiquity, one of these discussed by one of the great Egyptologists of the last century. He referred to Jeremiah Massey, whose 6-volume study on the religion and mythology of ancient Egypt are certainly classical in the field of study. And it says, taking the same order in which the signs of ecliptic are read today, when Aries becomes Princeps Zodiaci, we can identify at least a dozen of the deities of Egypt with the 12 signs. The ram head Amen with the constellation Aries, Osiris the bull of eternity with Taurus, the suit Horus twins with the Gemini, the beetle-headed Kepler, Ptah with the sign the beetle, later the crab. We are the lion-faced Autumn, a match with Leo, the Virgin Neith with the constellation Virgo, Harmaku of the scales with the sign of Libra, Isis Cirque, the scorpion goddess with the sign of Scorpio, Shu Tefnut, figured as the Archer with the sign of Sagittarius, Noon, the goat-headed who presided over the Ibis, the sign of Capricorn, Menat, the divine wet nurse with the sign of Aquarius, Horus of the 2 crocodiles, the sign of Pisces. So these are figures or constellations of the zodiac that were already in place in Egypt prior to your Greeks coming in, to where you can match up or to see where the symbolism came from. Again, that was John G. Jackson, Christianity Before Christ. Page 151. Taking it back to the calendar of Dendora, or the zodiac of Dendora, which was said to be linked to Greco-Roman. But if you take it back to the calendar of Dendora, you would take it back to Hathor. The calendar of Dendora was said to predict what was going to take place, future events, what future events were going to take place. So when the calendar turned, one would go clockwise, one would go counterclockwise, and when it stopped in a specific area, they was able to read what was going to come, or what was to come years ahead of time. This is what the zodiac of Dendora was basically about. And these are thousands of years before Greek or Roman or any kind of European ever set foot in the land. Another thing that he mentioned, what that was mentioned, is the analyzing and test and what science really is. Now, I don't know how many people really dib and dab with zodiacs or readings. When you're dealing with an astrologer, can you put the definition of astrologer up? Astrologer. A person who uses astrology to tell others about their character or to predict their future. He was advised by astrologers to delay his departure. Now, do you have the one where how astrologers read? Did I give you that one, TK? Was that one on that, TK? So pretty much astrologers lines up your body, or lines up the constellation within your body with the universe, and they are able to predict future events with you and what you may do in the future. So to say, don't do this or do that, which is something that's I'm going to break down later on in the on this presentation, to break down what an astrologer does, how they read into it. I'm gonna move on from that. I don't want to get too much on that. But that's about it on that one, man. Dealing with the astrology, that's my little basic breakdown. I'm gonna go into the rest of it on the next two rounds. But that's about it for my intro.
I apologize. I had a little bit of an issue.
Ding, ding, ding. That's round one of the debate. What I always do, man, you know, like I had told them when in the way off, I don't think that a moderator of somebody that's hosting should be a judge. So what I would like to do for that first round, man, I would like to go to the audience. If everybody in the audience, if y'all think Brother Felder, Brother Vic won that first round, y'all put in there. If y'all think Pseudo Sutek won that first round, you know what I'm saying, y'all put that in there, and you know we'll let the crowd, you know, we'll let the crowd decide, you know, on that first round. TK, you got anything you want to say, man?
I apologize. I apologize. I got kicked out the stream for a second.
Yeah, we got a brother said. The brother said it's a tie. The brother TK said it's a tie. You know what I'm saying? That's one for a tie. Tamika won. She said it's 1-0. Brother Vic way. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what you saying, Tamika? Another saying that Sue won in the first round. Sue. Yeah, I think these people being biased. They being
let me talk to my people real quick. Hey, anybody here that's familiar with me, I need you to be as non-biased as possible. I don't need no biasness. Right.
I just think they just do it because they don't want, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to lose your friendship. So they just want to give you, they want to say you won that first round because they don't want to lose your friendship. You know what I'm saying? But going.
Hold on, Vic. Were you really done? Because you got a lot more pictures I see, and I know I got kicked off, and I apologize for ruining how your shit went. If you want to continue, bro, I'll give you the time because you still had time.
No, I'm good on that, man. I'll just bring that on the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, all right. I just wanted to make sure before we move forward.
I think the brother was just basically, you know, I think Brother Vic is doing a rope-a-dope. I really think he just, you know, reeling Sutek in, let him swing, and, you know, an old Muhammad Ali trick. You know what I'm saying? I think he just laid the foundation down for what, you know, he finna set up. You know what I'm saying? I even got a brother on here saying, man, he really didn't even listen to Sutek, man, because Sutek was coming with some pseudoism. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He said, call the sister said, call a mistrial since TK messed up your presentation. You know what I'm saying? The brother said, I gotta disagree with Sutek on that. It was so short. You know what I'm saying? I think the brother just laying down the foundation. But what I will do, going off of the viewers and the comments, that first round will go to Sutek. TK, you can take over from here, brother. Ding ding, the beginning of the second round.
All right, round two. Y'all kind of went through it a little bit. It was more about presenting your evidence and then arguing why you believe that evidence to be correct. I'm not certain if y'all really prepared to do that, but we can still do it. If you wanted to complete your presentation, Vic, to set it off, I will let that go. Miles saying you got the round two. It's a fight out here. It's a fight. It's a dog fight. So what you think? Vic?
Well, go ahead.
I mean, you're gonna set this round off. I'm just trying to figure out how you want to do it. Do you want to start from your presentation that I kind of ruined for you, or did you want to just bring up your evidence and start presenting from there?
No, we're just gonna go to the ones with the president.
The ones with the presidents.
Yeah.
All right, let me just line them up right. What president are you starting with?
It should be we can start with George Washington.
Okay.
Oh, George.
That's it.
Shit, somewhat. Yeah, that's a little better. All right, now we back to the field of astrology. Now this is George Washington, and him and other presidents and kings and other prominent people that's out here today. A lot of them call them spiritual coaches. Some call them spiritual advisors. Some may have different names to code the people that are with them, that are directing them either daily, weekly, monthly, to help them make the right moves to where you see a lot of millionaires, non-billionaires, but they are directing them in the path in which to go to be more successful in life. Now, President George Washington was one of them. President Washington knew of the birth, development, and the future of the United States from the apparition he had seen a mysterious woman who told him about the United States and his journey in the global world. President Washington revealed this in 1778 to his close and confidant, Anthony Sherman. Go to the next one. No. Okay, he said he had a dream and a strange woman appeared in a personal tent. Washington tried to ask the woman why was she there, but she kept staring at him, not answering. Finally, she spoke and had so much to say. He felt it as a vision. She told him, son of the Republic, look and learn. And she began exposing the future of a new nation that would be born in the United States. She showed him how this new nation would extend from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and become heavily populated with villages and towns and cities springing up one after another until the whole land from the Atlantic to the Pacific was dotted with them. Go to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was perhaps the most active participant and follower of psychic visions and psychic realms. He used to partake in diverse realms and see visions as well. It is well known that President Lincoln and his wife were very much believers of the psychic realm, and that his assassination was foretold by one of Mary's favorite psychics. No, that's Roosevelt. Now, the reason they were into these psychics, because one of their son had died. And during the time when their son died, Lincoln was going through depression as well as trying to win a war and successfully run a nation. His wife had nothing to distract her from her loss. Mary was overcome with grief and wanted desperately to speak with her deceased son. At the time, spiritualism was very popular and she contacted several. She would hold seances in the White House. Lincoln attended some of them, but not all. She turned to several mediums for help, but her favorite was a man from England by the name of Charles Colchester. He is the one that gave the presidential couple the most accurate information and allegedly warned Lincoln about his impending assassination at the theater. Go to Roosevelt. President Roosevelt. Now, he was another one that it's a documentary on the History Channel also that you can go and watch to tell you about President Roosevelt and the medium or psychic or astrologer that he used. And she also warned him about using the atomic bomb and how time was ticking for them to go ahead and drop the bomb on Hiroshima. President Roosevelt took guidance from psychic readings regarding political matters before and during World War II. His psychic reading guidance was usually focused on international relations. During the bleakest moments of World War II, President Roosevelt was in serious need of divine intervention and or vision in order to survive the war. A famous clairvoyant named Jeane Dixon was called to the Oval Office in 1944 for both military and personal advice. One of the questions President Roosevelt asked Dixon was when the war would end. She answered that it would be over sometime after mid-1945 and was correct. Unfortunately, Roosevelt died a few months before it ended. Dixon is best known for her prediction about the election and death of John F. Kennedy. In 1956, she predicted that a Democrat would win the 1960 presidential election and that the elected Democrat would be assassinated or die in office. After this shocking prediction ended up being correct, other famous people were known to have consulted her, including other presidents. Reagan. Another president that used these astrologers or psychics or whichever term you want to use, President Reagan and his wife, Nancy Reagan, were strong believers in psychic readings. His presidential term of 8 years was filled with political scandals and assassination attempts. And it's believed that President Reagan survived all the scandals with the help of a psychic named Joanne Quigley, whom Nancy Reagan used to consult on a daily basis. Evidence of this is the person who was a White House aide during President Reagan's tenure. The aide says that every major decision and move was first consulted in advance with the woman in San Francisco. You can change the other. No, go back the other way. No, back the other way. No, one more time. All right, she was a Republican. No, go back. A friend, well-born in San Francisco, Republican from whom had been taking counsel for several years. The woman, one John Quigley, quickly did an astrological chart on Jimmy Carter. Then she got back to Nancy Reagan with good news about her husband's presidential bid. I was certain Ronald Reagan wouldn't have any trouble with him, says Quigley, who volunteered her services to the campaign and later provided them on a regular basis to the Reagan White House. Now, what this woman here is saying that she did an astrological chart, something that they're saying is pseudo, to find out if President before then, Jimmy Carter, will be any competition or would he win the race against Ronald Reagan. But after this woman did the astrological chart, and obviously it lined up because Reagan won the election again, it came out to be correct as in what she was saying. Now let's go to the next article to show the woman who she is or whatever. And this is the woman Jean Dixon, or born Lydia Emma Pinkert. Also, when she go back to the other one. Also, she helped with, by the end of the first term, her fellow astrologers had begun to notice the impeccable celestial timing of many Reagan moves, like the bombing of Libya and his announcement for a second term. I had astrologer friends calling me saying Reagan must have had his chart done. Quigley recently confided during an interview in a suite at San Francisco's Fairmont Hotel, I just said, yes, he must have been consulting someone. So again, here's an astrologer giving the president the heads up on how to act and when to act on certain events. Also, with the assassination attempts, with him never being assassinated, this woman helped him in his everyday life to stay alive. Now let's go to the birth and natal chart. What is a natal chart? What is this pseudo natal chart that they say is being used? A natal chart includes planetary placement, which is where a given planet when you were born based on your geographic location. The main significance of these planets and their placement is that they represent different aspects of your personality. So this is what she used, the planetary placements, this celestial body or celestial objects that she used that are one. She used these different things or this method to let the presidents know where that president or different and other astrologers from then on was given information from these type of people, astrologers, you want to call them soothsayers, psychics in different realms, to get information on when to act, how to stay alive. You have that today with a lot of your celebrities, and you can look up a lot of your celebrities that have these spiritual coaches. What's on down the list? What is the work? Yeah, that's fine. What is the work of an astrologer? When applied as a service, astrology is performed for money, usually in the form of consultation. After learning an individual's natal birth chart, the astrologer can make predictions and advice and advise about the various aspects of a person's life, such as the following: love life, finances, business, health, relationship, and so on. Go to the next one. What do astrologers do? While the practice of astrology is the practice, some call it an art, others a science, of interpreting planetary and stellar positions into predictable patterns of human behavior. Assuming general personality traits based on a person's astrological background, an astrologer can then predict how a person will or should act in any given situation. There should be one more. No, that's it for that. That's it for that. I'm done with that.
Was there another slide I missed or something?
Nah, that's it, man. I ain't gonna be long with this.
Okay. And so that was the end of your presentation?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. So now Moving on, Sutek. Did you have a rebuttal to any of this information? And did you want me to pull up? Oh, okay, I see it. You popped it in. All right, just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, you can start my time. All right, so a quick rebuttal. As I showed y'all before, personal experience is not scientific. Pseudoscience is characteristic of, or is characterized by using personal experiences, which is anecdotal. I don't know what happened with JFK and Lincoln. They must not have listened to their psychics or their astrological charts because they both got bullets to the face. So let's keep going. I did this, let me do it over. In 1971, experiment by Bernie L. Silverman. Subjects were presented with 12 personality sketches drawn from a set of horoscopes and asked to choose the 4 that best described them. So the subjects were presented with characteristics from certain horoscopes, and they were supposed to choose the one that best described it. The horoscopes were not given in the descriptions, so this is a blind test. And the subjects were not particularly likely to pick the horoscope of their own sign. So when they added the horoscopes to these characteristic traits, then the subject started to pick their actual horoscope. So this is why blind testing is important, because blind testing seeks to remove those biases, those preconceived notions, so you can get a more accurate answer. Notice I'm using scientific testing. How we tell if something is science, it has to be tested. Wasn't that a part of it? Y'all remember that slide I showed? No testing, he has shown. So let's keep going. Nope, not today. Joffrey Dean, a scientist and former astrologer. See, I'm using physicists, scientists, and actual people that are proclaimed to be astrologers. And Ivan Kelly, a psychologist, conducted a test in London in 1958 that involved 2,000 people since birth. Most of them born within minutes of each other. So this is dealing with that natal astrology, those birth charts, right? So this means since they was born, many of them born within minutes of each other, they should share the same character traits according to astrology, right? Researchers looked at more than 100 different characteristics, including occupation, anxiety levels, marital status, aggressiveness, social ability, or sociability, IQ tests, and ability in art, sports, mathematics, and reading, all of which astrologers claim can be gauged from birth charts. The scientists failed to find any evidence of similarities between these time twins. They reported in the current issue of the Journal of Consciousness Studies, the test conditions could hardly have been more conducive to success. So if they were going to have a successful test, a positive test, this would have been the one. But the results are uniformly negative, not positive. They were set up to shine, but they still lost. All right. The time twin study is only the start of the bad news for the astrologers, however. Dr. Dean and Professor Kelly also sought to determine whether stargazers could match a birth chart to the personality profile of a person among a random selection. They reviewed the evidence for more than 40 studies involving over 700 astrologers, but found the results turned out to be no better than guesswork, aka no better than chance. This is another one. The success rate did not improve even when the astrologers were given all the information that they asked for. So now it's not even a blind test no more. and the success rate was still trash, and were confident that they had made the right choice. Dr. Dean said the consistency of the findings weigh heavily against astrology. It has no acceptable mechanism. Its principles are invalid, and it has failed hundreds of tests. But no hint of these problems will be found in astrological books because you gonna mess up the bag. Not today. What is the Barnum effect? Have we ever heard of that? I know my people have because I taught them this. The Barnum effect is a common psychological phenomenon whereby individuals give high accuracy ratings to descriptions of their personality that supposedly are tailored specifically to them. They are in fact vague and general enough to apply to almost anybody. This effect can provide a partial explanation for the widespread acceptance of some paranormal beliefs and practices such as astrology and fortune telling. What they were just talking about, fortune telling and psychics. That's a part of the Barnum effect. Aura reading and some types of personality tests. These characterizations are often used by practitioners as con techniques. It's a scam, bruh, to convince victims that they are endowed with a paranormal gift because the assessment statements are so vague, people interpret their own meaning. Thus, the statement becomes personal to them. And we know personal statements and personal experiences are characteristic of pseudoscience. Yeah, so we shouldn't have no problem about the white boy, right? Oh, this not the white boy. This that black astrophysicist again. Hold on.
Get a classroom of people, a group of people who are believers, and don't do what they want. This is what you do: go to the horoscope that day, pluck one at random, read it to that audience, and say, "Whose horoscope did I just read?" 2/3 of the hands will go up. Okay, which we know is not how that's supposed to work. It should really be 1/12 if it had any sense at all. That's the simplest test that I know to demonstrate to someone that it's just bunk, other than the rational arguments that you might spend time offering, like where the sun was when you were born doesn't match where it was 2,000 years ago when this got laid out. And the fact that there are 14 constellations in the zodiac, not 12. One of them is Ophiuchus. Any Ophiuchans here? Okay. Some people know they're Ophiuchans. The sun, after passing through Scorpio, spends more time in Ophiuchus than it did in Scorpius. So if you thought you were Scorpion, you're probably Ophiuchian, and all Ophiuchans and Scorpions are currently Librans. That's how that plays out. So
All right, so what is he talking about? Ophiuchans and let's let me see. Let me go to the next slide.
and all
For some reason, it's not. I'm gonna stop.
You did say you had another slide or something, right?
Yeah. It
Okay.
wasn't going to the next one for some reason. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Here I come. Hold on. It's not sharing on my end, bro. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here we go. Nah, not at my house. Not today. So the reality of the situation is, first, the houses of the zodiac are not of equal size. It takes the sun 7 days to pass through Scorpio and 44 for Virgo. In addition, There are not 12, but 13 constellations, as my black physicist brother just explained. Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, has been left out. Also, the Earth slowly wobbles over thousands of years. Bro, I already know this. You've seen this from the first presentation. This process, called precession, means that the apparent position of the sun and constellation on January the 1st in 2007 or January the 1st of 2021 are not the same as their position on January the 1st, 2,000 years ago. Astrology does not take into account this 13th constellation or the precession, aka the wobble of the Earth's axis. If you are an Aries, you should read the Pisces horoscope. When astrology was developed 2,000 years ago, the sun was in the house of Pisces, not Aries. When you were born, newspaper horoscopes routinely ignore or use strange ad hoc explanations to discount this odd fact. So they make up excuses. But there was a bigger problem. The science of astronomy, not astrology, has made discoveries about our universe, some involving the same constellations considered by astrologers. For thousands of years, astrologers have written about the constellation Sagittarius. Unknown to astrologers, most of the 20 stars of Sagittarius aren't stars at all, but huge clusters of stars. However, one star, Sagittarius A2, pronounced A star, is a mysterious invisible object that occupies a strangely unique position in the exact center of our galaxy. Indeed, the entire Milky Way is an enormous disk that rotates around Sagittarius A. So they had it wrong this whole time. Astrology does not account for this. They don't take it into account. They don't change, they don't update, because that's characteristic of pseudoscience. In 1999, astronomers made an astonishing discovery. Sagittarius A is a massive, supermassive black hole, more than 4 million times more massive than our sun. It may well be the closest black hole to Earth. A black hole is one of the most mysterious objects in the universe, with gravity so massive that not even light can escape it. Although the black holes can be as small as an atom or as huge as Sagittarius A, generally they are of stellar mass, about 10 to 20 miles in diameter, and having a mass of at least 3.8 suns. Sagittarius A is not alone. Incredibly, it may well be surrounded by a gigantic swarm of hundreds of thousands of stellar mass black holes. As you can see, astrology does not account for these discoveries because it has not changed, which is a classic characteristic of pseudoscience. There is another story of Sagittarius A. This enormous black hole and its companions may have been pivotal to the very formation of our galaxy and may well contribute to the complete destruction of mankind, the sun, the solar system, and the neighboring stars. Indeed, this process has begun in the Milky Way. Hold on. Indeed, this process has begun, and the Milky Way, with the help of Sagittarius A, has already destroyed several galaxies. There are important lessons in these contrasting stories from science and astrology. Astrologers had no idea of the significance of the little spot of light tagged Sagittarius. Sagittarian horoscopes have provided no insight concerning the long-term cosmic fate, and astrology does not deal with this. It does not know nothing about Sagittarius A. It's not updating as astronomy has updated, and it don't account for the fate of Earth. It don't tell nothing about that, right? And the claims of astrology have remained fossilized for thousands of years, meaning they've been the same for thousands of years. They haven't changed. Pseudoscience. In contrast, astrology or astronomy has revealed a breathtaking trove of discovery in less than a single decade. The story science reveals is truly one of immense and searing beauty, far more awesome than the fairy tale of a horse and a human head. Not in my house, baby. That's Bill Nye. That's the white guy. We can skip that. Was astronomy and astrology always connected? Okay.
Ding, 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 ding,
Time up.
ding, ding.
Nah, bro, let him get his last 13 seconds. Let him get his time.
All right.
Everybody gets their time, bro. We can't do that to nobody.
Was astronomy and astrology always connected? This is not the plot. It's 7,000-year-old stone circle. It's the oldest known astronomical site on Earth. You will not find astrology during that time.
All right. This okay, Vic. All right, so this last round, I'd rather it be more like a more like a discussion, dialogue on the information. You guys can debate your sources, and from there we'll just move forward. And but let's take a heat check. Please put in the chat a 2 if you think Vic is winning. Put in the chat a 3 if you think Sutek is winning. And then we're gonna start round 3, the final round. This is the back and forth round where everybody gets to drop their source information, why they believe it, and discuss the information amongst each other. And they, pretty much the free for all. You can swing for the fences because it's a little ugly out here today. All right, Vic, man. It's looking like people is believing you're getting your ass whooped a little bit there, buddy. If you want to set off round 3, letting them know why you mess with your sources, and then y'all can discuss amongst each other exactly why y'all feel the way y'all feel about what y'all read and what y'all believe and what the facts are, what the sciences is, and set it off.
All right, I'll crank it on up. Now he keeps using the term pseudoscience. Or he brings up or gives his sources of scientists did a study on this, and scientists had a group of people. I gave you names with people and actual events that happened. I didn't give you a group of people with no name or a scientist with no name to say that these scientists did this and they conducted a study of 70 people. I mean, where were these 70 people at? I mean, when did this study take place? So, and the same source that he brought up again was the black guy, the black scientist. All he did was come on there and say the same thing, and you added in about the 13 constellations, which is Ophiuchus or whatever the name you want to call it, which is not in the constellation of the rotation of the sun with the 12. That's why it's not added in. So there is a 13th zodiac, but it's a reason that 13th zodiac is not added in. Now we keep talking about it's not science if it's not, it can't have a personal story or something that he said, a personal character or personal experience. So if a scientist is trying to come up with an analysis or a theory or a conclusion or something, he has to have some type of experience himself in that subject matter that he's studying to come up with the conclusion. So how can you even talk about you can't have a personal experience when everything that we do has to deal with experiments? So what else he came with? Astrology. No, it's real. Hold on, I got this stuff on here. Hold up. My bad. So My thing about it is, if it's not science, why are we using the term science? Which scientists are doing the study to say that this is not real? So I'm giving you information from Anthony Browder, who does excavations in Egypt and has been doing excavations in Egypt for the past 30 years. I've given you another one from John G. Jackson, another brother that studied in Africa or ancient Egyptian teachings, that's showing you astrology and giving you the calendar of how things matches up. Also was in the book of Nile Valley Civilization with Anthony Browder about astrology. It was determined to give you the seasons to where you had to harvest. So if astrology is not real and we can't use astrology, then why do we live by the pattern of these different seasons? So, I mean, it was, to me, it's self-explanatory about the astrology part and the readings that I gave, the information that I gave. And, that's about it for me.
And Sutek, jump in there. Go hard. I think Sutek sitting over there trying to let you breathe a little bit, man. Vic, keep going. Go ahead.
Nah, man. Okay, so I'm gonna say, first of all, every scientific test that I presented, I gave the actual name of the scientist. You wanted me to give the names of the actual subjects. That's crazy. Nobody does that.
I agree. I apologize, Vic. You did kind of slack off on your sources, and that was more my fault. I was trying to let y'all live a little bit because I don't want to get too overbearing in the situation. And again, I apologize for interrupting Sutek. So when you speak again, Vic, please bring up all your sources.
Yeah. So again, what I used was scientists that deal with this, physicists. Some of the names that I brought up was Sean Carlson. I brought up Jeffrey Dean, Ivan Kelly. Like, these are people that is actually in the field. Again, like, if you want me to disclose the name of the test subjects, that's crazy, bro. Nobody does that. How do you know? What makes you think that is public? For two, you mentioning calendars and astrology. Calendars don't have nothing to do with astrology. That's astronomy. So I think you got to get a better grasp on what astronomy is and what astrology is and the differences between the two. Astronomy is the mapping of the celestial bodies and how they change or move over time, right? Astrology is how those celestial bodies affect or impact the earth or the people on the earth. So astrology is saying because, for example, you was born in this quote unquote constellation, that you will have these characteristics, or you will be more likely to do this as a profession, or et cetera, et cetera. It's totally different from astronomy. I showed astronomy 7,000 years ago. I had one more slide. I could have showed astronomy, astronomical observations 40,000 years ago. So was astrology around 40,000 years ago? You're not going to find it. It's non-existent. Personal experiences. I characterize what science is and what pseudoscience is. And personal experiences are not scientific at all. Your senses are not scientific. If you go, like, eyewitness testimony don't even hold the weight that you think it do, especially in science. So it don't go down that way. I also, let me see, what else my sources did I use? I show how astronomy or astrology, excuse me, does not take into account the tilt of the axis of the Earth. It doesn't change because that is pseudoscientific. You are saying that the 13th constellation doesn't count because so and so and so and so, but you are not in the field. You are not in any science field, so I don't need you to explain that. I need an actual scientist or a physicist to explain that. None of the sources that you use, speaking of, were scientists, physicists, anybody that's dealing with any field of science. Anthony Browder, I love him. Big up to him. I appreciate all the work he's doing in Egypt. He don't count. He's not a scientist. He don't deal with science at all. Who else you bring up? John G. Jackson, not a scientist, not a physicist. He's not none of this. You show no scientific testing. So how are we to deduce if this is science or non-science? If you show no scientific testing whatsoever, now you're the floor.
Vic, any response that your sources is pseudo and that you can't use them because they're not scientists?
I mean, we're using two different forms of sources. He's coming from a scientific point of proving scientists don't agree with astrologers as being or having a connection. Like he said, with astronomy being with celestial objects and dealing with outside. I understand what it is. That's why I showed the definition of astrology and astronomy to begin with, to show how both, if man and universe are one, then how do they differ? So regardless of if it was 40,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, if they were both one and separated at a later date, they both are still the same. Now, as far as the sources I gave or the ones that I gave, those are the ones that had the profession in their field. So if this woman is a psychic or an astrologer, or she deals with reading zodiacs, and this is the result that a person gets from it, then Reagan still lived. What she predicted about JFK happened. What she told Roosevelt actually happened, or the person that told Roosevelt actually happened. Lincoln was warned. What happened to him actually happened. So I'm giving you factual evidence of people that deal with astrology and warned these people or gave these people information about things that was to come. Then how is that pseudo if it's true? So again, what the brother came with the science side, okay, cool. But I'm coming with you with it from an astrologer side that also deals with science, because if you're dealing with celestial objects or celestial bodies, it's still dealing with science. So how is it wrong if it's actually working? If it comes to be true, how is it not a fact? How can it be labeled off as pseudo or fake science or not real if these events happen the way that these people say that they were going to happen in the future, from a future standpoint?
All right. Okay, so I just want to be clear. You're saying all right, I would like you to use another example based on the sources that you have given tonight. Anthony Browder, the other source that you had gave, John G, showing like more examples other than the presidential ones that you give. To try to give a little more understanding of. I'm a little confused in the argument that you're making right now, Vic, and I'm trying to let you clarify exactly where you stand with the situation. Are you saying that Sutek's information is scientific and that y'all work on a different set of laws so it doesn't make you wrong?
No, I'm saying he's coming from a more scientific point because he's giving references about science from scientists. What I'm saying is astrologers deals with science also. So if astrologers deals with science and they're reading a chart based off science of the body, then what's the difference? That's what I'm asking. So because they're not certified scientists, or they haven't went to school or understand science the way that the school system taught, then is it wrong? Does that better clarify what I'm saying?
I believe so. And then Sutek, did you have a rebuttal to that?
Yeah, so the topic of the debate, one of the topics I give you that is
Hold on,
astrology.
excuse me. Hold on 1 second. I apologize, Sutek.
Go ahead.
I swear to God, no disrespect. Hey
Nah,
man,
go
I
ahead.
just wanna let me say this. First of all, I want to thank everybody, man, that support the Black Brown Table. I want to send some shout outs to all the people who have supported us tonight and other nights. First I want to send and these some of the channels that we do subscribe to, that we look at: the Each One Teach One channel, very informal channel if you want to learn some Black history. The Kofi Posse Research Team, Monster Warrior Clan channel. You know, they discuss, as you can see, they discuss a lot of topics. I think a lot of shit they be stealing from us, but I'm gonna talk to them on another debate on that. but also I see we have some of the pseudo killers in the house. YouTube. I just want to shout these people out because they have came over here tonight and supported this debate. I just want to say, everybody who's watching us on Facebook, I appreciate the support. You know, I respect both of these brothers. I think both of them have some valid points. I think tonight Sutek might have had a little stronger argument tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to say, I want to thank everybody. I hope I didn't miss nobody. Also, Scripper Rippers, Sabio. I don't know the name of your YouTube channel, but y'all check out the brother Scripper Rippers. He's on YouTube, aka Sabio. Some of y'all might know him from the Dagger Squad. So you know what I'm saying? I want to say I appreciate everybody who supported us tonight, who support the channel. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Scribble Sabio, man, put your name of your channel in the chat, bro, so I can send the people there. I want to make sure, you know, we show the love back to everybody who show us love. We try to you didn't stop the show for an infomercial. I did stop it for an infomercial. But I just want to make sure everybody, man, that's supporting us tonight, that does support us, I just want to make sure they knew that we appreciate that. Of course, you know, we share and like the videos, and you know, we just want to keep this energy going. I want to appreciate the guys for the support on the debate. That being said, Sutek, I meant no disrespect by cutting you off, brother. I just want to make sure that everybody who, you know, support, which is, you know, I support y'all. I appreciate y'all support.
Right.
You know, everybody who came over tonight, they got a channel. Please, man, you know, just go and just give them 5 minutes of your time, like the channel. You know, it gives this information goes out to more than just this small group, you know what I'm saying, of people. It's more people that watch these videos of ours than what we know. And, you know, one of the things we try to do is make sure we give them correct information. So, thank you. That being said,
I'm gonna put the sources back on there after we post the show, after everything.
Yeah. That being said, Sutek, I'm gonna be quiet, brother. You can go ahead and say what you got to say. And the name of the brother Sabio channel, Stripper Rippers on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Sabio, for coming over, man. You know, I know at one time you thought I was a Hebrew. I still debate you as a Hebrew though. Yeah, but you know, that being said, Sutek, go ahead, bro. Say what you was gonna say, bro.
Yeah, man. I want all my people, man. If you listening, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Also, man, please subscribe to the Black Brown Table. It goes down over here. I'm over here damn near every time they go live. I appreciate the way they set up their platform because it's information based, but they have fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be too serious all the time, right? So make sure y'all subscribe, man. Subscribe. Support these brothers because they support us and because not only because they support us, but because it's a good platform with good information, and we build it. Ain't nobody over here fighting nobody, cussing each other out, man. It's all love, man. So yeah, back to my rebuttal. Basically, pseudoscience. Again, I go back through a couple of my points. Pseudoscience is characterized by personal stories or testimonials that they rely on personal experience as evidence. That's not evidence. So you will have to get around that. The topic of the debate is astrology, science, or pseudoscience. So if we're dealing with science, it's only right to use scientists. Of course, you're going to have a bias when you ask is astrology science or pseudoscience, and you're coming to an astrologer to try to get that answer. Like, so that's a bias. So some of these tests that I presented to you guys, they were done using not only scientists, but astrologers. And they agreed on the setup of these tests. So it shouldn't have been no excuse. They had tests conducive to success, and they still failed. So how are we to believe that astrology is science and not pseudoscience when it cannot stand the test of science? You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, you scientists, physicists, and astrologers. Let me deal with what he used from the page of Astrology and Astronomy. That first sentence where he said astronomy and astrology were archaically treated together. Now, archaically means old or very old. It doesn't mean from the beginning. It doesn't mean originally. It just means astrology and astronomy were from times of old treated together. But I demonstrated, I showed you Nabta-Playa 7,000 years ago. And I didn't get to this next slide, which is the last slide, which showed astronomy, not astrology, astronomy 40,000 years ago in cave paintings all around the world, in Spain, in Turkey, in France. Like, so you would have to show me, you got to demonstrate, you would have to show me astrology 40,000 years ago. That cannot be done. It cannot be done. Like I said before, big up to Anthony Browder. He's not a scientist. Big up to John G. Jackson. He's not a scientist. You had a problem with me using white people. You came on with white people. So it's like, you just got to do better, bro. You just got to do better, bro. When I come and I correct misinformation, I'm not doing it from a place of malice. I'm doing it from a place of a learning lesson, a teaching lesson. That I don't mean that I can't be wrong. I'm not above nobody, and nobody is above critique. That's why when you was like, well, Dr. Ben said this, oh yeah, well, that's cool. Dr. Ben could be wrong. I don't personality worship. That's not how you do research. Just because a person that you respect said something, that doesn't mean that it's accurate. We need scientific testing to deduce that astrology is a scientific phenomenon. And I'll stop. Oh yeah, also he brought up psychics. Anybody can go to the page.
Hold on, let's let him rebut a little bit. Let's let him rebut a little bit. Hey Vic, where you at?
Go ahead.
Go hard.
Again, the difference that, or the comparison he's going to make is scientific study and evidence. If I give you a situation and it's evident that this situation occurred, how is it not true? Now, again, I give it to the brother. You know, he came with his information. I can't have cop. He handed my ass to me. Hey, it is what it is. I got to give it to the brother.
So
But-
you do admit that you got your ass whooped tonight?
Hell yeah, I say 2-1.
2-1. Okay. All
I
right.
say 2-1.
I mean, which one did you win?
I think the second one, man.
Okay.
Proving them astrologers, because I think what the thing is, it's not understood what I'm trying to show with these astrologers or psychics, or some of them are two and the same. So the ones that I show are not just psychics, they also deal with astrology. They're predicting future events of the celestial body, the science of the body, the zodiac. They're looking at your natal chart. All of this is lining up to why they can predict and tell you what's going on with the future events that's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out again, if this person is in this field and you're a scientist and you don't agree with these people over here are saying, because it's more so on a personal level, it's more so on a character level, it's more so, well, that's what y'all got going on. It don't line up all the time here. We're gonna do away with it. Science changes damn near every day. So if we're gonna be, or use the wordplay or archaically, old, and old don't mean ancient, and old don't mean all the time. I mean, so what does old really mean? So if it was said it was split in the 17th century, it didn't say prior to that it was split here and split there. It said it was split during the 17th century. So astronomy and astrology was one. And he keeps trying to make the reference to make it seem like I'm so wrong for trying to compare the two, when I've shown you that when the 17th century, Western man split the two. So, maybe.
But okay, so let me ask you, by Western man splitting the two is what makes you believe that it was correct prior to that split from astronomy and astrology, correct?
I mean, like he said, when the shifting of the earth, or the earth tilting off the axis, and I knew we was gonna go there too, and I saw some stuff on that. So that's why I really didn't try to deal with the zodiac. That's why I went to the astrologers, and them predicting from the natal chart of the body, of the celestial body, and saying these events are going to occur. This is going to be the outcome. So far as the 13 zodiacs and the zodiac reading and all that, I mean, if they are astrologers and they're on point and they know how to read better than we do, it's like if you get a zodiac reading now, it's going to be different things that they're going to ask, like your time of birth, of course, the days. They're going to line it up mathematically with the constellations in the universe to read your chart as to how you're going to proceed day in and day out, or how you should proceed day in and day out. So that's your mathematics, that's your science, that's dealing with your celestial bodies, which is science. But because it's not accepted to the scientists or the physicists and all these different people, it's considered pseudo. But if they have a method of obtaining their information, and it turns out and patterns out to be true, and you're using a similar process with a celestial body or a celestial setup, then how is it not science? Is what I'm asking. Now, again, mine changed because I thought it was mainly astrology and astronomy. But again, things changed last night, so we went with it. So a lot of things I had to take away from this to just deal with astrology. Cool. I should have studied better. I came head caught. He handed me my ass. He did a great job in presenting information. The brother did that. I mean, he came with it. I got it. Hey, hats off to the brother, man. He came with the information. Shit, he ain't getting no extra time. He still had more to give. The brother did his information. The brother did his research. But to say that because you have more research or you have more in-depth information on the subject matter, that doesn't mean that you're right. And these people that use the similar system to predict an outcome on a person, that doesn't mean that these people are wrong or it's not science. But the method is similar.
You can't have it both ways. Either he won or he didn't. You kind of like trying to slide a little. It sounds like a goalpost move right there.
No, I said he won, but what I'm saying is the similarities of them both. How can you rule out it's not science? I'm not trying to, break it down. I'm just saying that how can you rule out science when they're using a similar pattern to science? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, are they really if it's incorrect information?
How is it incorrect if I'm showing you that this worked for these people using this process?
Okay, Matt asked how many times other than this did it work?
How many I gave? 1, 2.
No. I mean, out of the 3 with the presidents. I mean,
all 3 work.
Can you pull up in your sources showing it working more than those times that you used based on everything that you have presented tonight?
Yes, I can. I just took those 3 out.
Okay, could you just throw one more example out there?
No, I ain't memorized a thing like that, man.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was just trying to give you
Well,
another.
celebrity, you may have some celebrities. What this lady? Is it Marina Sabovich? I think they call her a Satanist or something like that, and she's been associated with Hillary Clinton. I think Jay-Z has some attachment to her also. It was another show that came on, Mo 3. Mo 3 used one also. The day or days leading to when he was killed, whoever the lady is, whatever you want to call it, astrologer, psychic reader, she couldn't get in touch with him prior to him being killed. I got a video of that also. So it's other stuff that I had, man. Again, the brother came with more information than I did. That's it. Better information. Hell no, I ain't predict this.
All right. We ain't gonna let you get beat up all night.
Hey, man. I ain't gonna lie, Zay. Stop.
You got
man.
your ass whipped a little bit, buddy.
It's all good. Know so, man. It's all good. My brother, he lost in one fight. You know what I'm saying? What we'll do, we gonna go back and train. You know what I'm saying? We don't study this move. We don't study this style. And we're gonna get this sucker. You know what I'm saying? That being said, man, hey,
come on over to Kofi Pieside TV, man. Come on over to Kofi Pieside Research Team. We'll show you how to do correct, proper research with proper research methodology. Right?
That's what's up, man. That being said, man, of course, this is the Black Brown Table. This is our new debate forum. You know what I'm saying? The firing range. If anybody want to come and put up a silhouette, you know what I'm saying? Just let us know. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be sending out some invitations to some people. You know what I'm saying? Since Sutek want to try to beat up on my little brother, it's only right that I catch one of these pseudo killers or one of these COVID Pasta Research Team members slipping and get in the uppercut. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But either way, I appreciate everybody. We're gonna end this tonight. Sutek, do y'all I know y'all do after shows after y'all show. Are y'all doing an after party after this?
Yeah, I think we are. I think I seen Sean talking about we are. So yeah, man.
Which channel is gonna be on?
It'll be on Kofi Pieside TV. Let me throw it in the chat how to spell it.
Yeah, if y'all want to go over there and get a piece of cake and some hot dog, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be throwing an after party over there.
Hold on, let me am I allowed to advertise our product?
Please do, bro.
Okay, cool. Hold on.
I just want to say, man, I have no problem advertising none of y'all stuff. Y'all good people, man. Y'all supported us. And that's where y'all want to go if y'all gonna, you know what I'm saying, the after party. Of course, Sutek finna advertise. Of course, if y'all don't know, those brothers got a couple books that they stole from me. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all check them brothers out. Order some of the information. I think it's some good information. You know what I'm saying? And Sutek, TK, you can let Sutek add his screen or whatever.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm a member of Kofi Pieside Research Team, and I don't represent me as an individual. I represent the team. So this is Spirits of the Mossy, our first book, our volume 2 from Spirits to Pens, our volume 3, Spiritual Combat. We got Killmonger's Corner, Killmonger's Corner 2, which is both Pan-African journals. My brother Sean got From Cocaine to Consciousness. My brother Kofi got Kalawa Shook to the Motherland. Sean came again with One Night Before Bed. These two are children's books. Kofi came back again with As I Learned, We All Learn. And we also have clothing merchandise. We have a clothing brand at FamilyConnectApparel.com. FamilyConnectApparel.com. And our products, our books, our publications will be on KofiPasaiTV.com, or you can also pick them up on Amazon as well. So yeah, man, I just wanted to rock out with that.
And Vic, did you want to shout out anything that you handling right now? I know you be messing with running with for office and everything that's going on around your city. You want to discuss anything?
Yeah, man, they're gonna be my next battle, man. I came off in his ring, man. He handled me real bad, so we're gonna have to do a political forum or set up or something next time, man. I'll be more comfortable in that. But nah, man, I'm out here. I've been invited to a few events. We got to stop the violence movement going on in the city. I'm trying to hook up with a few people, set up some events in some of the communities that a lot of crime and murders are taking place in. So I'm still in limbo about, am I going to make another political run or not? I really want to, but that is really time consuming, and you got to have the money. And if you ain't got no money, we know how they go. So if you get bought out, and you can have all the best ideas in the world and have the best heart in the world and the most passion, but if you ain't got no money, man, they ain't stunned none of that. So if I get to kicking this political thing now, I get the campaign, I'm gonna reach out to everybody. I'm gonna reach out for ideas from people, especially if your city is plagued with crime and you've come up with ways to decrease it, or you have ideas on decreasing and coming up with programs for the youth. Also, how can we reach our brothers that may be in the 20s and 30s from stopping the killing also? So, that's pretty much my movement now with the political field. I'm going to shout out the brother. Again, shout out to, Sutek, Kofi Posse. I got the brother's book, the first volume. I got that one, still skimming through it. Appreciate the brother Walter Posey having me on, Coach One. TK, I appreciate y'all, putting this thing together. I appreciate you taking that last minute information, man, putting it together. I ain't had no kind of organization or nothing, but I did learn from this presentation. I learned a lot. If you ain't got no laptop and your information together, don't be dealing with nobody that's skilled in presenting information and skilled in their subject matter. So, I've been doing